Go ahead.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Whiskey Bros. I'm Jake. Next to me is my brother.
I'm William.
And today we're going to be reviewing, or reacting to, however you want to put it,
This is kind of a review.
Buffalo Trace, their signature, well, we'd say probably on the lower end of their whiskeys. If you don't know, they're a company that does Buffalo Trace. It's a distilling company. They make Buffalo Trace, Eagle's Head, Eagle's Rare, I believe, not Eagle's Head, Eagle's Rare.
Yeah, Eagle's Rare.
Along with Blanton's is their top shelf.
It kind of went from the mid-high to their like almost bottom rung with this one.
Yeah. So we're going to be giving you a reaction review, sort of in between of the road amateur review of this.
Very amateur review of this.
Extremely. We should probably start scripting these a little bit. I don't know.
Nah, I think free flow is the best way to go. All right, let's pour a bit of this and see how she goes.
I can already say that this is one of the whiskeys that was on my list to have. I've heard really good things about it, even though it's a lower end run of the mill whiskey. I already know that I like it.
Yeah.
So let's just get into it.
Yeah, we've drank a little bit of this. I've actually drank an entire bottle of this last year, earlier this year. It all runs together at this point. But some areas, this is some stores you go to. Even this, their lower end bottle, Miss Cork, will set you back a lot more than I feel it should. And some places might even have it in their select area of the store, depending on your area and availability. This might be put on the shelf next to Blanton's.
And this has gained a wild cult following in the bourbon community.
Heavy on this one.
Oh, we want to make sure we taste it, make sure we smell it. But that way you can get those colors in there, the nice caramel color. I mean, looks nice, coats the glass.
It is a pretty color. It's got a nice rich color to it. The smell is kind of floral.
Very sweet. You get a caramel, kind of like those spiced donuts, the brown cinnamon donuts, not the powdered sugar, but the cinnamon powdered ones. You kind of get that spiciness, and it reminds me of that. It kind of takes me back to that.
The scent is not extremely complex in this. It's hard to pick up stuff without getting that astringent kind of alcohol burn in the nose.
Right. No, it's a young bourbon.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not old. It's not complex. It's not like layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer. It's a $30 bourbon.
Yeah.
Through and through. But is it good?
It's so popular that we felt like it deserved its own review at this level. Even though this is really a really, like you said, it's a pretty good budget whiskey. It's not going to break your bank most of the time, and if it does, find someplace else to shop.
Yeah. I would not. Well, let's taste it, and we'll give our remarks.
A little bit of caramel.
Yeah.
So
it's very spicy.
it's very warm on the tongue.
It doesn't hit as hard as it smells, though. It's not. Granted, we did take a little sip of this beforehand. So I guess that would technically be my second drink. So a lot easier than the first.
Yeah, your second drink is always going to be a little better than your first, in my opinion.
Well, because you know what to expect.
Yeah, and your tongue's kind of calmed down and quit screaming at you. What the hell are you doing to me? So
it's better smelling than it is tasting, because like you said before, it's not a complex whiskey. There's not a lot of layers to it. You're not going to sit here and taste things like sandalwood and real strong oaky finish, or like a lot of sweets, or fruity this and all that. It's good.
It's good. The flavor's a little thin. It kind of goes away relatively quick. It doesn't linger on the tongue. It does have a nice chest burn to it. It is, I think this is 40 proof, or sorry, 80 proof. I think this is 80
I
proof.
think it's 90.
Oh yeah, it is 90. It's
That's
90 proof. Yeah.
It's
So,
got a good proof on
It's
it.
got a good proof. Yeah, I could have read it right there
You could
on the
have.
back of the bottle.
You wanted to
Or I
say
could have
bottle.
read it before I picked up the bottle and hit record. So this is brewed in Kentucky on the Kentucky River. Like you said, it's the same distillery that does Blanton's and Eagle River, Eagle Head. You got me all
Rare.
Eagle Rare.
I always get
Now-
that one too.
We haven't been able to source a bottle of Eagle Rare yet.
No,
So-
that seems to be the hardest one to get, actually.
Yeah, we got
Like,
Blanton's.
yeah, we
and
got Blanton's and we got
Buffalo.
Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace was sitting right out on the shelf, and I was like, "Oh, cool! You got a bottle of Buffalo Trace. I really want to try that." And she took the price tag off of it, set it down. I looked at it. I think we paid $27.99 before tax for this.
Yeah.
Not saying that's what you're going to find it for. I've seen $60, $70 on this, which is to me too
Insane.
much.
That's insane.
I think anything over $40 for this is too much.
Now, don't get us wrong. This is a great. If you can get this for the price we got, this is a great budget whiskey.
Oh yeah.
It is not a bad bourbon.
No, it's not. It's got a great sweet smell to it. The flavor's not complicated. It's not going to knock you on your ass, but it's not going to make you choke and feel like you're going to throw up. Or it's good for sipping. It's good for mixing.
But is it smooth?
Yeah. No kidding.
So,
Actually,
this
not
would-
not nearly as much as the Blantons. No, but
this would be
No.
a great whiskey for a whiskey sour, or some other whiskey cocktail you want to make that isn't whiskey forward. I wouldn't think that this would make a great old fashioned. I don't think this would make a great Manhattan. I do think this would make a great sweet and sour, or sorry, whiskey sour, or some other whiskey cocktail that you want to try. I think this would be a great bourbon for that, as long as you're not looking for a rye note, because there isn't a rye note to be found in this.
No, but you know what? I have no issue with this being like in my decanter and having. This is a whiskey. If someone came to my house, they weren't like a huge whiskey drinker, but they wanted,
They
sit
wanted
down
something.
and have a bourbon with me, or a drink. This would be a good pour for them. Or even a person that's a big fan of whiskey. This would be a good pour for them.
Yeah, it's not a bad whiskey.
No,
It's just
this is a perfect thing.
Yeah.
It's perfect to put in like a decanter to pour for people. It's not a celebration whiskey. This is a whiskey you can come. This is a whiskey you could take out to a party and let people drink and get drunk on it and have a good time. Or you can even keep it inside your decanter and have it for just the everyday night. You get off work, you come home and just pour a glass of this. It's perfectly fine for that. Throw a couple ice cubes in it if you like that sort of thing. I personally like drinking it neat, but maybe proof it down a little bit, throw some ice cubes in there, and I think that would probably, that'd be a great drink for the night.
yeah, a little ginger beer, a good spicy ginger beer would make. I'd put this right on the level of Woodford Reserve. I'd put it right there on
Yeah.
that same line. I actually prefer Woodford over this, but that's just my personal taste.
Now that I'm down towards the end of it and I'm not getting as much as that alcohol hit, you can get a grainy like oaty smell off of it.
Yeah. The dregs you can get in there without that alcohol hit to
Yeah,
the
the strong
nose.
hit of
Now I
alcohol.
wonder how this compares to, let's say, this simple wild turkey back here that costs less than this on most store shelves.
And you can find it on every store shelf. No matter what, you're going to go into a liquor store, you're going to find wild turkey. It's not a hunt for it.
And that's not a 101. That's just a simple straight bourbon. I think it's what is that? 40%
It's just an
alcohol.
80 proof.
It's an 80 proof.
Do you want to grab it?
It's actually not a
you
bad
wanna do
idea.
that
Let's
now?
let's do that now.
Let's do it now.
Let's do it now.
Let me just go ahead and.
So, what I've grabbed here again is just a simple bottle of Wild Turkey straight bourbon whiskey. It's Kentucky, same Same.
If you
It's
set
got
those,
a little less.
if you can look
color.
at it, it is definitely a lighter color. It definitely has less color. So I wonder how the flavors and the scents and all that's going to stack up against the Buffalo Trace. So we're going to
All right.
set this off over to the side for now. We were going to do this as a separate review, honestly, but then you mentioned it.
I mentioned it,
I want to taste
so
it.
it's got to come out.
You know?
It's just got to happen.
I don't have a lot of experience with wild turkey. I always just assume
Well, let me,
they were bad.
Let me do a quick rinse here of both the glass and the palate. There we go. That way we don't have any Buffalo Trace hanging out in the glass.
Let's give it a pour. Not quite
Thank
as
you, sir.
not quite as healthy as the Buffalo Trace, but not flimsy either. Yeah, that is a lot lighter. That looks more like a almost as light as a Scotch.
This looks like you were well hydrated before a night of drinking. This is what came out again in the morning.
It's probably the worst example you could have gave for that. By the way, it's like,
Let's put this up here.
yeah,
You got the cork over there?
yeah, of course, right here.
Got natural cork in that. I mean, it's not.
You know what? That's hitting like vanilla real quick, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vanilla.
Sugar.
It's smelling really sweet.
Got a really sweet smell to it.
It's got
But
that
it
same
doesn't have that,
thin kind of
but I'm not getting that
astringency.
slack in the face of alcohol.
Yeah, I mean was it 5% less alcohol? in it?
5% less. Excuse me. That's a part of the it's part of the job.
I'm just.
Let's taste it. It's great. Boy, that is thin. It really doesn't have a lot going on at all.
No.
The smell is way better than the actual taste.
The sweetness that one has, this one's really lacking. And like you said, it's very thin. It just evaporates off the tongue as soon as it hits.
There's really no burn to it. So, that's probably a plus for most people, I would say. It's not going to like really bite you. But when you smell it, you think you're going to get these really, really good sweet notes on the tongue.
Yeah. It says with notes of sweet vanilla, pear, and hints of spice. Hints of spice is like somebody whispered descriptions of what something spicy is supposed to be while you're
I'm not
drinking
getting
it.
pear at all. I mean, you know what? That's all.
It's what they put on the back of the bottle. Why don't you taste it?
I don't taste it. I don't smell it.
It's there.
I definitely smell the sweetness of it.
Yeah, vanilla is hitting hard on the nose. Well, not hard, because it really doesn't have much of a bouquet at all, really. But vanilla is present. It's just, I think a 101 would be a better side-by-side. This is bargain basement.
Yeah, if you've seen these two on the shelf and this is $10, $15 more, this is definitely worth the $10 or $15 more. Even, I would say $20 more than the Wild Turkey.
Yeah, the straight Wild Turkey bourbon.
There's nothing wrong with this Wild Turkey bourbon. If that's what's in your budget or that's what you like to drink, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a bad bourbon. It's got a great smell to it. It's probably great for mixing. The flavor's really, there's really no flavor to it at all. It's very, very flat on flavor. This at least had some flavor to it. As uncomplex as this whiskey is, it's way more complex than this.
Yeah, it's at least a head taller than the Wild Turkey.
Yeah. The smell of it's great.
I mean, for the price I paid for this bottle, which I think was like $24, it's not a bad buy. It's a decent whiskey. It's just not up there with anything that's on the shelf behind me. It pales in comparison to absolutely everything that's behind
But
me.
the point of this was we wanted to do, we
And
paid
what's here?
$27.99 for this. This is, I think, $20, $25, somewhere around there.
20. Yeah.
You know, so price comparison wise, they're very close, but flavor, notes, smelling, quality, this is here and this is down here. You know, the Buffalo Trace is better than the Wild Turkey, and I think we both knew that going in. I mean, you can tell. I don't think anyone out there is going to be surprised.
No, I don't think so either. I wasn't surprised either. It's just I wanted to do a heads up. What we had thought about doing, what I had mentioned doing before, was taking these two, putting them in different glasses, and then
But it's
see if we
immediate.
could pick which one that we'd want, or which one is the Buffalo Trace versus. There's no comparison. This tastes so much better. As thin as it is,
Yeah.
it's heads and shoulders above this in the
I
flavor
mean,
department.
The second you put them side by side, I mean, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but the color difference and how dark the Buffalo Trace is and how light the Wild Turkey is, because this is a young, unmature whiskey.
This says it's 5 to 8 years old.
Yeah, but that must not have been very much char in the barrels, or
This is an alligator char,
oh, okay,
whatever that means.
yeah, I don't know what that means.
It also says finishes with a flavor that is full and rich.
I'm not getting that, but you know what? Good for them.
I really think that this would get lost as a mixer. I really do. I think mixing it with anything, with any like real flavor, it's going to contribute alcohol, but it's not going to contribute any whiskey flavor to your drink. And if you're looking for that, if you're looking to have a whiskey drink and not taste the whiskey, this would make a great mixer. This would make an absolutely fantastic mixer.
I've been looking for something to put inside my decanter, so let's go ahead and fill that up.
Yeah. Really, there's not a lot other than the price that I could recommend about this whiskey. I got it because I wanted to start getting into whiskey. It was really cheap, and Wild Turkey was being said to be a pretty decent brand for the price. I was extremely inexperienced at buying whiskey and didn't know that they were talking about Wild Turkey 101. And I bought this bottle thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get into some bourbon. It's not bad, it's just not great. It's not good, it's not bad,
It's a perfectly fine bourbon if that's what's on your, if that's in your budget. It's perfectly fine bourbon. If you can find Buffalo Trace, I suggest getting it, trying it. It's not far off from the price of that. Like I said, I would pay upwards to, let's say, $45 for this.
at most.
At most. If you see it over $45, wait, buy it somewhere else. Don't buy it.
Shop around.
Yeah.
Shop around. Difference. Like we went to a store last night, and we asked them about Buffalo Trace, and they said that's on their select. It's in their vault. This is a $30 bottle of whiskey that's been put in somebody's vault where you have to collect 5,000 points
5,000 points.
to
You
just
got to buy
the whiskey.
I don't know how many points you get per purchase there, but 5,000 points, I imagine that's a lot of purchases.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be. It's probably by price and volume of what you buy. You get so many points per every $100 or $50 or whatever sold or purchased. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
If this is a vault pick and you got to spend $300-$400 on other products to get it, it's not worth it. If you could walk into a liquor store, or you can find it online and it's $45 or below, get it. You're not going to be disappointed. But please stop. Whoever's paying $100 for this bottle, $150 for this bottle, you got to stop. It's not a $150 bourbon.
And the last thing I want to point out, we did the Blantons in our first episode. And the way we got that Blanton's is he mentioned Universal Liquor. We're not sponsored by anybody on this channel. This is our second video, guys. We're putting this up here, the Frolk thing. It's just kind of an enticement to be like, hey, Frolk, we like your stuff.
They make a good product. This is the decanter from that. If you guys are wondering what Frolk is, it's a decanter set. This is the decanter that came with it. They got
Let's not give them all kinds of free stuff. The advertising, they're never going to pay us if we keep doing this. No, this is a great decanter that came in that box.
Don't ever shut me again.
Shut your whore mouth. Anyway, the way we got that Blanton's was we had to buy from their with barrel
Let's
selections.
show them what we bought.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
So, had to buy Heaven's Door, which is a great whiskey.
Oh,
we will review that later.
We're going to review this later.
Let's not give anything
Oh.
on it yet.
Yeah.
He selected the Heaven's Door. I selected the Maker's Mark Private Selection.
Sit down.
So we're really happy with his selection. I'm not going to mention anything about this one yet. We'll wait. It's not important. But what we're basically doing is I had to bought this one, bought the Heaven's Door. We had to do that in order to get the Blanton's. Now, Blanton's, if you buy this, if you find this on a shelf in a liquor store, you're expecting to pay anywhere between 60, 80 bucks, maybe even 100.
Maybe 100, yeah.
If you're buying it online or you're buying it from a liquor store where it's not in that area, it's maybe they get 200, 300 bottles a year, you're looking at anywhere between 100 to 250. I've seen them go higher than that, but really, I would not spend more than $200 on this. It's a great bourbon, but it's not.
I'd be hard pressed to spend $200 on
Yeah,
that.
I think
150 at
with
most.
these two bottles and this bottle of Blanton's, we spent $183. I think maybe a little less than that, somewhere around there.
No, because it would have been. Oh yeah, because we
Yeah.
also bought the ladies' alcohol with it.
Yeah, we bought the ladies' alcohol with it too.
So
yeah,
we're somewhere around the $200 price range.
it's somewhere around the $200 price range. But we got these two bottles of whiskey, these two,
And
in Blanton's, and then 2 jars of like sipping cream.
yeah, their total price was like $240
Yeah.
when it was all said and done. But yeah, we did really good because this is fantastic. These two are going to be reviewed in the near future. I think that we might be able to do something with this, but that's in a future video.
I think we should.
I think we
wrap
should
this,
wrap this one up and stay.
All right,
Let's put this down here.
so to recap really quickly, not gonna let him talk.
Probably a good idea.
Anything under 45 and below, get this bottle. It's fantastic. For that price range, don't pay anything over that. This, still phenomenal.
There's no comparison. They're made by the same people, but this is so much more rich and complex.
I said I wasn't gonna let you talk. We gotta say goodbye to the people. They don't want to watch this for 30 minutes.
That's true. So until next time, stay thirsty.
I don't have anything.
I don't know what to say.
I think we should pour real quick. Sorry about
Pour
this.
some Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, some Buffalo Trace. We'll finish it off with that. Shaking like a crackhead. That is a horrible
Well, the
angle
decanter-
for a pour.
that
The
decanter
decanter
is
weighs like
heavy.
60 pounds on the bottom.
That is a thick boy. So this is back to Buffalo again. I'll move these bottles out of the way.
He's gonna salute you.
Stealing my. I'm gonna say, thanks for watching. Join us again next week for another train wreck of a YouTube video about whiskey.
Please like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, what he
Enjoy.
said.
It's really better every time you take a drink.
It does. It does get better with every drink.